Hey, this is John Clayton. Welcome to another one of my bass tips. I thought we'd just take a couple of minutes to talk about something that I learned from Ray Brown and Milt Hinton. They used to laugh about how bass players needed to get away from choking the chicken. So I kind of want to vamp on that a little bit. I just want to echo what they used to speak about. So let's free the chicken. That poor chicken. Free the chicken. No more choking the chicken on the bass. What is choking the chicken? That's one of the most natural things to do when you just grab the bass and start playing. I mean, if you give the bass to anybody who doesn't know how to play the instrument, probably the first thing they're going to do is they're going to stand on the side of it and they're going to grab the neck like this. Because that's the way you grab most things, whether it's a baseball bat or a door handle or a stick or a broom, whatever. You know, you could just put your hand over there and grab it. So that makes a lot of sense until you have to start playing a lot of music. Then it's a lot of work. So the people that haven't discovered the more efficient ways to do things, to finger and to approach the instrument, struggle with choking the chicken. They're still making good music. Why? Because the music is in them. It's got to come out some kind of way. So they can play with their chin. They're still going to find a way of making music. But for you, for me, for people like the great Milt Hinton, the great Ray Brown, and just countless other bass players, we've discovered that it makes a lot more sense if instead of choking the chicken like that, instead of choking the chicken like that, and hey, sometimes I'm guilty. If my left hand gets tired, and I've been playing like this for 27 courses of some saxophone solo, then I'm probably at some point just gonna, out of necessity, choke the chicken. So there are exceptions to the rule, but let's learn the rules first. The rules that are gonna make our lives a little bit more easy are, first of all, experiment with standing more behind the bass than on the side of the bass. I probably mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. I personally don't stand exactly behind the bass, and there are bass players that do, and it's fine. It allows them to get their right arm around and above the string. Makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense in terms of the left hand to stand more behind the bass. So I split the difference. I don't stand here. I don't sit exactly behind the bass, but I kind of do one of those things, and I'm not stuck. I'm not cemented into this position. I can move around. I can angle the bass differently. I can angle my body differently. I can groove to the music with my body. You should have that kind of freedom. Let's go back to choking the chicken. We discovered that by having our thumb behind the neck instead of on the side of the neck, by having our thumb behind the neck, it then positions our fingers to more easily grab the strings and play on top of the fingerboard this way. I know you've seen this gazillions of times, and perhaps you already play that way, which is great. But it's just a lot less work. And my goal, in case I haven't told you before, one of my goals in life is to play music with minimum effort and get maximum music. So I want to find the best way to relax my body and to minimize the effort that I'm using to make that really effective musical point and statement. So, thumb, instead of on the side here, choking the chicken, thumb goes behind the neck. I'll just swing around a little bit so you can see that. Thumb is more behind the neck. And notice that I'm pointing, my thumb is pointed slightly upwards. I'm not forcing myself to, I have this parallel thumb, it's okay. We don't want perpendicular, but my thumb's sort of parallel to the bridge idea. That's more or less what I'm doing. Okay, so thumb behind the neck. My fingers are now curved, as you can see, rounded this way, which allows me to play on my fingertips. Not on the tips of my fingers, so not like that. That's awkward and again painful. I don't do pain. So instead I play on the tips of my pads, tips of the pads of your fingers. Thumb behind the neck, play on the tips of your pads, and then If you're going to play an F scale, for instance, and that's a lot easier than if I have this. I can still make music this way too. When I have to shift, it's even more work. So yeah, when you can, thumb behind the neck. We're ending choking the chicken. Let's free the chicken.